What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Jericho Report Weekly News Briefing. It is Sunday, the 24th of May, 2020. Sorry for the late report. Had a long day yesterday. Started doing the Jericho Report, and then I got called away to cut down a tree because limbs are hitting houses. And anyway, things come up. Let's get into the news. As always, the first link below will take you over to the Patreon post. That's where you can find all the madness. Let's check in with the BS numbers at this hour. 5,332 cases around the world, 342 dead in the United States. We're 1,622,000. We're approaching 100,000 dead. 100,000. Even if these official numbers are true, and I don't believe they are, because you know if you got in a car accident or you got killed by a heart attack, you died of coronavirus. But 100,000 people out of 300, how many million people in this country? Yeah, so let's get into the news. Trump reveals he's taking hydrochloroquine. This is the big news at the beginning of the week. For no reason, he just heard good things about it. Put a link to that. 6 feet may not be far enough to stop coronavirus transmission. Study suggests from Fox 6 now, because when you sneeze, when you breathe, all these people. Here we go. 60% of New York state coronavirus hospitalizations are people who stayed at home, not essential workers. How is it? Of course, 6 feet's not enough, because how is it all these people that stayed at home are now getting sick? Could it be like something to do with frequency or something like that? I'll put a link to this. Tell me what you think. GBN News puts this out. Cardiac arrest up 800%. 600 plus doctors warn lockdowns doing much more damage than COVID. Well, yeah, cardiac arrests are going to be up if you're not out and moving around. But everybody died of COVID-19 anyway, so I don't know why they even put that story out there. Breitbart puts this out. Study claims legendary 5-minute coronavirus test working nearly half the time. Okay, wrong nearly half the time. Daily Mail puts this out. Doubts raised as Oxford coronavirus vaccine. After all monkeys took part, are ill, so, not good for the vaccine. Trump's warp speed vaccine czar oversaw an famously botched vaccination. Wonder what a third American... Okay, I'll put a link to this. So the people that are in charge of the vaccine have killed people before. The Guardian puts this out. Barack Obama attacks the Trump administration response to coronavirus pandemic. Of course he does. House Democrats say Trump-Russia obstruction investigation ongoing could result in new articles of impeachment. So even if Trump wins the election, I don't know what's going to go on with that. So we got another impeachment coming up, to be advised. Other news going on, we had a couple shootings this week. Westgate Mall shooting, multiple people injured. Glendale, Arizona, police say, put a link to that. I didn't really follow these. I was doing other things. Corpus Christi Naval Base shooting, a terrorism-related second suspect may be at large, says FBI. That from RT. Another one from RT, be advised, Pakistan passenger plane approaching Karachi airport, crashes in residential area. That sucks, broken plane. And we got a recall this week. Harbor Freight recalls jack stands that could suddenly collapse. Oh noes! One day when we're all sitting around a campfire after shit hits the fan, remind me to tell you a story about how I changed the transmission in my 96 Lumina by myself. Yeah, jack stands, I didn't rely on the jack stands. I mean, they were there, but I always use cinder blocks and bricks, and because, that thing falls on you, you're dead. Over to financial news, how major U.S. stock indexes fared Friday. Looks like on Friday the Dow rose 6.94 points, but for the week the Dow gained 779 points. I'll put a link to the market recap data. Dow up and down. Markets Insider puts this out. Moderna skyrockets 39% after early trial of a coronavirus vaccine produce antibodies. Okay, so big pharma up and away. 3-phase recession will be unlike anything we have ever seen in modern history. Put a link to this from Yahoo Finance. I got all kinds of devastating financial news. I apologize. Tidal wave of delinquent mortgages set to surpass the Great Recession. From Zero Hedge, we got another one from Zero Hedge. Washington State loses hundreds of millions to Nigerian unemployment claims fraud scheme. Someone got some spraining to do. Put a link to that. And Gateway Pundit puts this out. Newsom's budget, that's the governor of California, right? Closes veterans nursing home, but gives $80 million to illegal aliens. Well, of course it does. Trump says U.S. will not close over second COVID-19 wave. I have a feeling the second wave is going to be a lot worse than the first wave, especially if the New World Order really wants to slam the United States. We'll see what happens. Steve Mnuchin unveils Trump debit card to get coronavirus rescue funds to Americans. That from Breitbart. Yep, electronic payments coming at you. Pier 1 Imports to close all 540 stores after 58 years. No more Pier 1 Imports. Just one of many stories we're going to see at all of this. Elon Musk now has a total of 7 homes on the market. He's selling all his stuff. Going underground? I don't know. Trump gives the World Health Organization 30 days to improve for improvements, threatens permanent funding freeze, end of U.S. I thought we already did that. Now he's reversing. He said, well, if you improve things, we'll give you your money back. Another one, fears of global trade war with China after Beijing slaps 80% tariff on Australian exports starting today. as brutal payback over country's call for coronavirus inquiry, 100 nations, blah, blah, blah. Over to New World Order Police State News. U.S. begins warp speed vaccine push as studies ramp up. I'll put a link to this from the AP. Will everyone be required to take it? Brits to be the first to get coronavirus vaccine. If UK can make 30 million successful doses by September, that from the Sun be advised, my people across the ocean. Children in care can be vaccinated against their parents' wishes without court order, UK judge rules. I bet the same thing will happen in the United States. What do you want to bet? 21st Century Newswire says Washington State residents who refuse COVID tests can be placed under house arrest. That come out May 20th. Meanwhile, the LAPD wants to test every person arrested for coronavirus. I wonder if that's constitutional. New York Post puts this out. No swimming, but surfing is okay at NYC beaches over Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, I saw something that said you can walk on the beach, but you better not start a volleyball game. You slaves better stay in line. Another one from 21st Century. COVID SAGE documents reveal psychological operations against the public. Yeah, no crap. This whole thing is a psychological operation from the beginning. Federal government buys riot gear, increases security funding, citing coronavirus pandemic. May 17 from whatever this website is, I don't know. CNET puts this out. Your face mask selfies could be training the next facial recognition tool. You know, it's funny. I was in a Monograph live stream a couple weeks back. He was talking about how this was all about facial recognition with your mask on. Shout out to Monty for calling that. RT puts this out. Senate votes down anti-surveillance amendment as both parties back warrantless spying on Americans' browsers history. Of course, with biggest tech giants on the hunt for misinformation, conspiracy theories flourish on fringe platforms. Be advised, there is an attack on smaller websites. Anybody notice Gab has been down for like the past 2 weeks? I think it's back up now. And for those of you who want to know what all of us conspiracy people are talking about, this is what we're talking about. There's a video on Twitter. It's a retweet. It is years old, but Gates, microchip, New World Order already becoming reality. If you want to see what this whole thing's going to look like in the end, you want to see what it's going to look like to get your microchip, check out this video. It's older. It's not very good quality, but you can see what's going on in the video. Couple more. Here's what an antitrust case against Google might look like. You want to talk about a couple things that will never happen. This from Wired, another thing that will never happen. Barr says he does not expect criminal investigation of Obama and Biden as a result of blah, blah, blah probe. There will not be a criminal investigation of anything. Oh, tell me again how we're cleaning the swamp. Tell me again who's really in charge. Over to World War III news. U.S. Navy warns vessels in the Middle East to stay away from its warships or risk being seen as a threat. That May 19th from Business Insider. The Washington Free Beacon says U.S. and Iran approach showdown over oil tankers headed for Venezuela. We got this whole standoff going on. Venezuela tells America its Navy will escort Iranian tankers arriving with much needed fuel to Tehran, warns of consequences. U.S. blah, blah, blah. Put a link to this. Got a couple more on that. Trump claims to have Venezuela surrounded as Iranian tankers approach. Really now? Okay. Regime change back in focus, however. Pompeo threatens Iran and Cuba and Venezuela in epic tweet thread. Regime, who was it that warned us about regime change? Aaron Russo. Look that up. Rocket blast near U.S. Embassy in Baghdad's Green Zone is the first such incident in weeks, says RT. Put a link to that. USS Theodore Roosevelt returning to the sea as China steps up coronavirus harassment of U.S. spy planes and ships. That from Fox News. We got from Breitbart, 62 nations now back Australia's demand for a Chinese coronavirus probe. They're quite pissed about that. I know the U.S. threatening China like Nazi Germany. The slide towards World War III. Let's get serious, people. North Korea news this week. North Korea state media says Kim Jong-un is working with no days off. Well, he can do that because he doesn't have a butthole. The Drive puts this out. The fight for the Air Force's Skyborg artificial intelligence-equipped drones has begun. Of course, and one more. Check, did you see this week? This was pretty cool. USS Portland fires laser weapon, downs drone, and the first at-sea test. So funny is how 80s movies predicted the future. Go back and watch the movie Real Genius, Val Kilmer movie. Good movie, but a very serious agenda. Over to Earth changes in 2012 news now. We had a 6-1 off the coast of central Mexico, it looks like. I heard there was a 5-point-something off the coast of California this past week. Well, a bunch of 5 stuff this week. I'll put a link to the earthquake recap data. Didn't see too much on volcanoes. The big news this week, however, was heavy flooding causes dam burst and bridge collapse in Michigan. Dams all over Michigan coming apart because of the flooding. Put a link to this. My thoughts to my people up in Michigan. Over on the other side of the world, tropical cyclone hits India and Bangladesh on May 19. Put a link to that. Millions of cicadas set to emerge after developing 17 years underground, says Newsweek. So now we got the killer locusts and the killer bees, and now the cicadas. Did I say that right? RT puts us out. 2 asteroids approached Earth on Monday. One of them larger than the Statue of Liberty. I put a link to this, so we still got asteroids flying by the Earth. Comet Atlas to become a bizarre comet within a comet. Interesting article here from Seney. I got a couple more. Hubble watches comet disintegrate into more than 24 pieces. That might sound like good news, but maybe not. Comet Swan and Atlas are cool, but might deliver a dangerous dusting. Yes, what's going to be in the, what do they call it, the coma of this thing as it flies through? Might get, who knows. We still have suspicious stuff going on with Space Force. Space Force launches a robotic X-37B space plane on new mystery mission. Could it be at Comet Atlas? I don't know. Put a link to it. I got one more. NASA scientists detect evidence of parallel universe where time runs backwards. I am more and more of the opinion that none of this is real. This is all a simulation. None of us are really here right now. We're just, somebody's just playing a game of The Sims somewhere. Over to strange and bizarre news. People going crazy. Man shoots Waffle House cook after refusing to wear face mask inside restaurant. Authorities say this happened in Denver. Another thing happened in Denver. Police respond to dozens of calls involving altercations and threats related to masked people losing their minds. California man arrested for choking child minutes after he was released from jail. No doubt over the coronavirus. Great thing letting all these criminals out of jail. Let me get rid of this advertisement here. Colorado inmate released on parole because of coronavirus arrested in fatal Denver shooting. Okay. The smoking gun puts us out. I don't know about this. I don't know about this website. But Virginia booze bandits thieves wore watermelons on their heads. As a shout out to the watermelon. Right on. Man in illegal Hollywood Hills house party shoots himself in the groin. I just shot myself again. We had one of these last week. I think that was a cop on it. South Carolina mother accused of intentionally setting fire to car with child inside. What is going on? People are losing it. Couple fighting for their life after being randomly attacked by a machete-wielding man in Nashville. Okay. Man dives into Bass Pro fishing tank in Fort Myers. I think this is the new thing now. People are filming themselves diving into fishing tanks everywhere, and singles now flaunting antibody test results on their dating profiles. That apparently is another thing. And the big news this week, did you see? Joe Biden says, "You ain't black if you don't back me over Trump." Probably a mistake, Joe. I'll put a link to that. For all the news, please check my favorite videos. I've favorited a ton of stuff. We got a sheriff being arrested. I think this is in Arizona somewhere. We got the new press secretary. She kind of hot. Goes after the press for not covering the Obama thing. Updates on it. We had the big fire out in San Francisco on the pier out there. Trump declares houses of worship essential. That's pretty interesting stuff. All kinds of stuff in my favorite. Mark Dice has gotten the First Lady. Shout out to everybody who continues to put out content. Everybody who posts videos. You guys are doing an awesome job. Check my favorites. There's probably more news over there that I'm giving you here. Definitely check that out. In shout outs this week, I got to give another shout out to Officer Greg Anderson. Yes, I made a video toward the beginning of the week talking about how everybody was talking about how this guy's a fraud. He's a scam artist. I pulled that video down because it was very, I didn't use very good language, and I was kind of pissed off, and I'm sorry to everybody who I offended, but this man is the real deal. I would not have sent you to this man's GoFundMe page if I didn't check it out. There's videos going around of people who don't know what they're talking about this man is a fraud. Well, he made a video showing you all of his paperwork, every bit of it, to prove who he is, who he says he is. So I just wanted to give you his video. If you have doubts about this man, check out his video on Instagram. There's also a statement on the Port of Seattle Police website right on the front page that addresses this issue about how he is on paid administrative leave. So all you people who sent me messages talking about he's a fraud and he's a scamster, no, he is not. Do your research before you believe bullshit videos on YouTube. I got a couple more shout-outs this week. South Jersey gym reopens in defiance of governor's order. The police stand down. Now, was this a result of Officer Anderson? I don't know, but these police officers show up to this gym saying, "You're all in violation, but have a good day." So I got to give a shout-out to these cops. Is it because there were so many people there? I don't think so, because police have no problem coming with the NRAP and the SWAT team if they really want to make a statement. They told people you're in violation, but we're not enforcing it. Have a good day. This is a good thing. Isn't this what we want? It's what I want. Officer Anderson may have started something great. The New World Order cannot work if there's no one to enforce it. Police officers across this nation are starting to wake up to the fact that the agenda they're involved in is not what they signed up for. So this is good stuff. And there's another police officer. What's this guy's name? Officer Michael Seney. Check out his video. 14 minutes, 10 seconds long. And before you tell me this guy's a scamster, he's got a Facebook page. Here's all his personal stuff over here. Check it out. He even references the Plandemic Documentary. This police officer told people to check out the Plandemic Documentary. These cops are coming around to the fact that this shit stinks, man. And they're not going to enforce this tyranny on the American people because that's all this is about. This is a power grab. This is the New World Order trying to enforce tyranny on the people. It's a good thing that these police officers are waking up. I'm not going to sit here and talk shit about them. I know a lot of people want to, but I'm not going to be one of them. I'll be the first one to call out the police state when I think they're doing wrong, but I'll also be the first one to stay here and say these cops are doing something right. So anyway, I'll put a link to the Plandemic Documentary. He's promoting it. That's all I got for this one, guys. If you like this report, please give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. I think it sucked. It's the worst of YouTube. You never want to see it again. Sorry for getting worked up. Just, you can support me on Patreon or directly with PayPal. I would appreciate any help. I put a lot into these reports, and thank you to everybody who's been contributing. I really appreciate it. It gives me the oomph to keep going. Tell me what you think about all this. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Gab. If Gab's still working, it's working right now. All my links are always at the bottom. Be sure to follow me on BitChute as well. That's all I got for this week. You guys take care. Stay safe. Who knows what's coming up in the next week? We'll see what the second round looks like. I have a feeling it's going to be worse than the first round. If the New World Order truly wants to do some damage to the United States, they're going to release something worse. I guarantee it. You guys take care, stay safe, remain vigilant. I will see you on the next one.